Classical liberalism is the idea that individuals should be free to pursue any economic endeavor they want to, and to facilitate that, the government should be as small as possible. It's based on philosophies developed by John Locke and Adam Smith about civil liberties, but they developed these theories back at a time when doing anything required a charter from your monarch. Classical liberalism is based on the philosophies of Adam Smith and John Locke and was popularized as a political and economic ideology by notable figures like Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson adapted John Locke's words in our Declaration of Independence, and classical liberalism was the dominant ideology for much of the United States' history, which allowed men like Jefferson to start building their own wealth. But in hindsight, we hold these truths to be self-evident that it's pretty ironic for these men to talk about personal freedom. After a brief stint with the breadlines that are only supposed to exist in socialist countries, we decided to try a little socialism in our own government with a period of Keynesian economics in the post-war 1950s, 60s, and 70s, which is generally regarded as the greatest era ever and the time period that boomers are so nostalgic for. Since the 1980s, we are no longer in a classical liberal economy. A recession in the late 70s propelled fiscal conservatives into power, and since the 1980s, we are now in the era of neoliberal economics, or neoliberalism. Instead of the laissez-faire approach of classical liberals, neoliberalism favors a strong government to facilitate a pro-capitalist environment, both domestically and abroad. Neoliberalism says that governments should exist to protect private property through a strong police force and military, and governments shouldn't spend money on anything that will guarantee a standard quality of life for its citizens. It shouldn't spend money on researching the environmental impact of our commerce because that's a waste of taxpayer money, and those findings might negatively impact businesses' ability to maximize profits, a double negative. In a sense, neoliberalism is an ideology that supports government forcing people to work. Despite claiming a connection to classical liberalism, neoliberalism is the antithesis of John Locke and Adam Smith's liberal philosophy.